All right, we are live. I see people already out there. Hey guys, how you doing? Good to see you. Come on in, one and all. We are here dear beloved, to honor the political passing of what was once considered one of the great up and coming stars of the Democratic Party. That's right. That star has crashed and burned. It is official. Cuomo is done. He is politically dead. Once considered really one of the most powerful politicians in the nation and a rising star in the Democrat Party. Don't forget, it was just a year ago at this time that the entire media complex, the mainstream Marxist media complex, was actively advocating replacing Joe Biden with Andrew Cuomo. Do you remember that? We'll be talking about it today. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. I was going to just do a video on this with the editing and clips. I thought, you know what? Let's have some fun. We haven't done a live stream in a while. Good to see you guys. Hey, Booger Tate, what's up with you, my friend? Oh, it's great to see all you guys. So come on in, one and all. We've got lots to talk about. Obviously, Andrew Cuomo has crashed and burned. It's over. And if you forgive me a little bit, I want to gloat a bit here because we predicted this. We did a live stream just like this one when the sexual allegations or the allegations of sexual harassment to what's the old joke? Cuomo was accused of harassment and his immediate response was harassment nothing to me. But I'm sorry, I know it's a bad joke, but we predicted he was going to fall. We predicted he was not going to survive this, and that was made all the more apparent when he got accused. And it turns out it's more than an accusation. I mean, people in his own party were pointing out, his attorney generals pointing out that they had covered up the actual amount of COVID deaths among COVID positive patients in nursing homes that he sent to nursing homes. We predicted the combination of these scandals was going to sink him. It was going to kill his political career, and it has. But I got to say, not even I thought it was going to crash and burn quite this way. I mean, yesterday, he was clinging on to power in any way and every way that he can. He was even trying to make some backroom deals to try to stay in power. So, but it was all for naught. Obviously, he read the tea leaves. Somebody gave him the tea leaves at some point and said, dude, you are one creepy, horrible fellow. Remember, this is a guy who signed some of the most extreme abortion legislation in the law and celebrated it as one of his great achievements as governor. This guy is done. He is out of there. And he has fallen. So we're going to talk about that. Before we get into it, though, I do want to make sure you guys all know we have a brand new Conservative Patriot Live virtual event on September 3rd and 4th. You are all invited to it, where I and several special guests, we're going to teach you on how to build a society completely free from all things woke, and to experience once again the nation that we all know and love. Many of us have been asking this question ever since, January, what can I do? All right. In the next 2-4 years, what can I do in the midst of all of this bumbling Biden insanity? And that is exactly what, thank you, Joanne. Very appreciate pounds sterling. Thank you, Joanne. Very, very thankful to you across the pond for sure. Remember, I did my doctorate at Durham University, so I miss it very, very much. Everyday witch. Many things happen the way they are. The masses can see how bad things can get. 2022, except overflow of liver tears. Well said. Well said. Absolutely well said. Very, very. Yes, I think the way things work, 2022, the way things tend to work and the way things look right now, 2022 will most likely be a Democrat bloodbath. And Cuomo, maybe he's doing himself a favor and he's just going to go and retire in the Hamptons and hide out there. But anyway, I know many of you have been asking, what can we do before the 2022 red wave and 2024 return of Trump. And that's exactly what this conference is going to answer. It's a virtual conference. You don't have to leave the comfort of your own home. You just register and we send you a link. It's September 3rd and 4th. Click on the link below today. So it's Tuesday. Check this out. Tickets for the event are 90% off until midnight Wednesday night. So you basically have 36 hours or so to get 90% off your tickets. So do not wait, right? We already have tons of registrations. You're going to absolutely love it. Click on the link below. Register for our new Conservative Patriot live event on September 3rd and 4th. And get ready to help build a society free from all things woke. You're going to absolutely love it. Our virtual conferences are really cool, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. All right. It is official, gang. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has resigned. The writing was on the wall. There was really no way around this one. I don't know. Shall we call it a touching farewell? Huh? Yes, I don't know how touching it was, but it was certainly beautiful to see. Obviously, an official investigation by New York's Attorney General into the behavior of the governor has indeed revealed that creepy Cuomo has consistently and overtly used his positions of power to sexually harass female underlings less than half his age. Aaron, what will happen with the infrastructure overall? Thanks. And by the way, if you click on, I do believe you're automatically registered or can be registered in an Insiders Club, where every Monday and Thursday night we have a live Q&A back and forth. So Aaron just asked a question. That's what we do every Monday and Thursday night. I don't know. We're going to see what happens with this infrastructure thing. It goes to show precisely why Trump was elected in 2016. These Republicans are beyond disgusting. This is a duopoly. This is the swamp party, and it's made up of both rhino Republicans and Democrats. And unfortunately, the rhino Republicans and Democrats, the swamp party, prevailed. So it's a pretty tragic thing to see. And I think in the end, it's going to open up the door for the $3.5 trillion horror coming down the pike. That's going to institute more or less a modified version of a Green New Deal, and it's going to increase inflation and the like. F.L. McKenzie, another pound sterling. God bless you. What is it there? 6 o'clock, 6 in the evening, 7 in the evening? So love you guys across the pond, my kindred. My Turleys are, of course, I understand the name is Irish, but my side of the Turleys came over to England many a century ago and then immigrated here. My grandfather was actually the first full-time R&D chemist for Roman Haas, the German company here in the United States, in Pennsylvania. In Philly. So anyway, so that's my ties to across the pond. That official investigation did conclude that creepy Cuomo was indeed pretty darn creepy. And so that was it. And just the other day, his executive assistant, Brittany Camiso, she came forward and described in detail how he sexually harassed her. And that she does plan, as I understand, to press charges on him. And then one of Cuomo's top aides, Melissa DeRosa, huge. I mean, we're talking like number 2 underneath him in terms of his administration. She resigned as well. And then we learned that the New York legislature was going to fast track impeachment proceedings. And then on top of that, you had everyone from Pelosi to Biden calling for his resignation. I mean, the guy was done. I mean, there's no way around it. And you'll love this. In his announcement, he thanked the women who came forward with sincere complaints. And then he said, quote, "In my mind," you don't even want to finish that sentence. "In my mind, in my twisted, convoluted mind, I never crossed the line with anyone." But I kid you not, this is what he said. "I never crossed the line with anyone, but I didn't realize the extent to which the line had been redrawn. I never crossed the line, but then again, I realized, holy crap, I did cross the, I didn't know you redrew the line here. Yeah. Yeah, Andy. It was largely your Handy Andy, but that was another nickname for him. Handy Andy. It was largely your party and the whole Me Too movement and the mainstream media that once fawned over you that redrew those lines. So it's quite ironic for sure. Sir Michael, they reap what they sow, and the trash takes itself out. LOL. Absolutely. Wow. That is so cool. Exactly it. I mean, in the end, I think liberalism by its nature entails its own demise. For a whole host of reasons. But left-wing liberalism is ultimately rooted in a highly negative and highly skeptical conception of not just life, but reality as a whole. And it doesn't take, liberalism is rooted in scientific rationalism, and scientific rationalism begins with radical skepticism. How do I know what's real? And then in the 18th century, they said, well, you know what's real by dispelling that skepticism, dispelling that doubt through the scientific method. And the scientific method gives you conclusions, either verified or falsified in terms of your hypothesis. And those conclusions are an effective means of dispelling skepticism and doubt. But we throw away God, we throw away religion, we throw away tradition, we throw away everything because liberalism gets to look at it all and say, well, how do I know it exists? How do I know I can believe it on the one hand, or on the other hand, starts calling it bigoted and racist and all kinds of phobic and the like. So it's a highly doubtful, highly skeptical, and highly negative belief system that once people believed once was able to be dispelled through the application of scientific rationalism. And you don't have to be a genius to figure out that eventually people are going to start doubting that. People are going to start being skeptical towards that. So liberalism ends up eating itself. It sees the world as basically a waste of time and horrid and so forth. Well, eventually we're going to start seeing liberalism as a waste of time and horrid. That's right, Herb. Damn Nazis must fall. That's right. And so anyway, I think in the end, liberalism ultimately eats itself. And I certainly Andrew Cuomo did as well. The rank hypocrisy in Cuomo is also what is so horrific there. Now the question is whether there's going to be charges filed against him. We're going to have to see on that. I wouldn't hold my breath, by the way. He's part of the permanent political class. They get around that. Greetings from the heart of Europe. I check your video. I check your videos regularly. Gives me hope. God bless. God bless you, my friend. If your code is right, I believe we just got a message from the Czech Republic, and God bless you. And the Visegrad 4, you guys are an inspiration to all of us. We love you. We're behind you 1,000%. Greg Jarrett over at Fox News. I think he had a great commentary on the fall of Cuomo. I'll read a little bit. It's kind of cool. There is now no, and this is before Cuomo resigned, there is now no doubt that Cuomo's aspirations for higher office, i.e. presidency, White House, are over. His name is synonymous with the word creep. He is certainly finished as governor. He can either quit or he will be removed from office by impeachment. There are no other choices. And again, we did see that yesterday. They were beginning to fast track the impeachment process, and Cuomo found that when he called to see what kind of backroom deals he could make, he found nobody was answering the phone. He was basically cooked. Jarrett goes on, the votes are already there to evict him from the governor's mansion. Hanging on desperately to the office he has sullied is pure folly. Only a pompous jackass would resist the inevitable, which makes Handy Andy the quintessential fool. The longer he demurs, the worse it will get for him. And boy, did Jarrett nail that one. Absolutely. Now, just to drive this home, you guys are going to like this. just to drive this home in terms of what a jackass this guy is, and his brother is just as bad, if not worse. Check out my second video today. I didn't know this was going to be our first. I have my second video coming up right after we're done with this live stream on CNN in panic. CNN is in panic mode because just as we saw New York politicians isolate Andrew Cuomo, now the mainstream media is starting to isolate CNN because they have so violated any semblance of journalistic code of ethics with Chrissy Cuomo, and his insipid and ridiculous nonsense with his brother over last summer as well. Armando, Gavin Newsom is next. I hope so, unless they cook them votes in California. I do hope Gavin Newsom is next. I think Larry Elder would be an amazing governor. Check out our video on Can Larry Elder Turn California Red? That's a good video. Go into our video archives just a couple of weeks ago. I think that was a good one in terms of the assessment of how Larry Elder has a track record of red pilling people like Dave Rubin, for example. So let me give you a sense of just what a jackass this guy was. Let's take a trip through memory lane. Let's go back to August this year, or sorry, this season, this time, 2 years ago, 23 years ago, 2018. And here's, does this mean Cuomo will be getting a cabinet position in the White House? Biden, probably. You don't have to worry about that because Biden obviously doesn't even remember who he is. So maybe whoever's running things for Biden. But alas, this is a headline from CNN, August 2018. New York Governor Cuomo says America was never great. America was never great. Listen to this. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo publicly denounced the slogan, "Make America Great Again," by declaring that America was never great. He was speaking in front of a crowd for a bill signing when, to everyone's shock, he said, and I quote, "We're not going to make America great again. It was never that great." What planet does this guy live on? We're not going to make America great again. It was never that great. And listen to this. You're going to love this. You know why America was never that great? We have not reached greatness. We will reach greatness only when every American is fully engaged. We will reach greatness only when discrimination and stereotyping against women, 51% of our population, is gone, and every woman's full potential is realized and unleashed, and every woman is making her full contribution. That's Andrew Cuomo. This time 3 years ago, August 2018. America's never been great. It'll only be great when discrimination and stereotyping against women is gone and every woman's full potential is realized and unleashed, and every woman is making her full contribution. Come here, baby, come here. What a freaking jackass. And to think that he would excoriate our nation by accusing us of all being sexist and misogynist. What a virtue signaling ass. And then you can only imagine what he did after the bill signing. Right? Hey, baby, come here. What are you, 20, 21? All right, come here. Yeah. So as far as he's concerned, we are going to make America great. It can't be made great again because it was never that great. We are going to make America great, but only when we get rid of discrimination and stereotyping women. When they are able to reach and realize their full potential and their full contribution. What do you mean by that? Huh? I mean, this guy, you got to remember, do not forget, this was the standard bearer of the Democratic Party. Again, this time last year, the mainstream media had a chorus openly advocating Cuomo replacing Biden as the Democrat nominee this time last summer, right? Even Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson got caught up in it. He came out and said that Biden is not going to be the nominee in the end. He is not going to be the nominee. Cuomo was going to be the nominee. Biden was going to be convinced somehow, some way. Well, I guess it wouldn't be too hard because you just give him a little cookie and he'll go away. But he was going to be convinced to give up all his delegates, hand them over to Cuomo, and then Cuomo riding high in the polls because he was some kind of COVID master. He was the champion of leadership during a time of a pandemic when this evil orange ogre occupied the White House. He was the great savior, and he was the standard. And then, of course, I mean, and then, I mean, in the midst of all of this fawning, you have to, I don't know, you have to wonder what's going on. I don't know. Maybe you guys, I don't know if you've thought about it or seen other websites. You've got to wonder something is going on here. Something's going on. I don't know who he double crossed, but how the media is fawning over him 1 minute, making, every gesture of adulation towards him, saying, you are saying, then clearly anointing him for the White House at some point. He writes this book on COVID leadership. How that all collapses, you got to wonder. You got to wonder if it was just really was he that careless? Was he that pathetic? But it wasn't just, of course, the women and the allegations coming forward, which the media largely overlooked. They kind of Hunter Biden'd it for a little while, but they just kept coming out. And it would almost be like discovering new laptops everywhere from Hunter Biden. The allegations kept coming out. And then Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, who is, she's a left-wing liberal. She admitted the State Department of Health did, in fact, underreport COVID-19 deaths in nursing homes by as much as 50%. It was a bombshell revelation, and it was revealed that Andrew Cuomo was directing nursing homes not just to accept patients who were COVID positive, but also to cover up the actual numbers. And so the numbers were horrific, and nothing in relation to what he had said. So all this is to say that as of today, gang, one of the media's anointed has flat out crashed and burned. Andrew Cuomo is now officially politically dead. He may even be, again, he may be facing criminal charges. We'll have to see. Like I said, nobody in the permanent political class tends to face any consequences, real consequences for what they did. But we'll have to see what happens with him. We'll have to see what happens with Chris Cuomo. That's going to be, again, check out our next video on that. That's what we're going to do, the fallout for CNN, because now they have a news anchor that was implicated in that AG report that said that he was advising his brother on how to basically not just push back, but to totally discredit all of these accusers that were coming out against him. So here you have a serial sexual harasser being advised by a primetime anchor of CNN. Let's see how they get away with that one. And Brian Stelter is doing everything he can to gaslight it and whitewash it, and he's just looking like an absolute fool in the process. So anyway, hey, one of the rising stars of the Democratic Party just fell, and CNN, the most distrusted name in fake news, is circling the wagons, looking like they're collapsing, as well as one of their major anchors has been revealed to be nuts. Knee deep and crazy. Something seems fishy. Democrats ignore nursing home deaths. Who's planned to replace him? Something isn't quite right. Will he be the next suicide? Yeah, that's right. Andrew Cuomo did not kill himself. That's what I mean. I got to be honest with you, Fishy. I do think, in the end, if this was a swing state, if this was a state that was purple, or even red for that matter, I don't know if the Democrats would have given up on Cuomo that fast. The fact that New York itself, he's just going to be replaced with it as somebody every bit as obnoxiously left, if not more so. And that's, hey, that's what the New Yorkers want. Let them have it. Keep it out of our lives. That's for sure. Um, I just think they got rid of him because there were plenty of Democrats that did want to replace him, that did not like him. And I think I think Jordan Peterson talks about it in the chimpanzee world, which is very brutal. If you're a chimpanzee, if chimpanzees get to the top of the pecking order, as it were, through sheer fear and intimidation and brutality, when they turn their backs, all the chimps gather together and they tear them to shreds. They tear them apart. Whereas chimps that figure out that you make it to the top through cooperation and creating alliances, they tend to stay at the top for a very, very long time. So Cuomo may just be, this dumb chimp who just thought he could, bludgeon his way to the top. And then when he was turning his back, they just took him out. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this whole thing plays. And again, it's the same thing with Andrew Cuomo or Chris Fredo Cuomo. We'll have to see what happens with him as well. But all I could say is one of the rising stars of the Democratic Party has just crashed and burned, and CNN is more isolated and alienated from the mainstream media than ever before because of their primetime anchor who was actually defending this perv. So not a great start to the week if you're a Democrat. We will see. We'll keep our eyes on how things develop. Anyway, gang, remember, I am very excited to announce our brand new Conservative Patriot Live virtual event, September 3rd and 4th, where I and several special guests will teach you how to build a society of parallel polys, parallel structures completely free from all things woke, and experience once again the nation that we know and love. So make sure to click on the link below right now, and guess what? Your tickets until Wednesday, midnight, Wednesday night, your tickets will be discounted 90%. It is insane, I know, but we love you that much. And we've already gotten a flood of registrations. So make sure you join in. It's a virtual conference. You don't have to leave the comfort of your own home. Tickets are 90% off until 36 hours from now, Wednesday night, 90% off. So don't wait. Click on the link below right now. Register for our new Conservative Patriot Live event for September 3rd and 4th. And get ready to help build a society free from all things woke. You're going to absolutely love it. All right, guys. God bless. We'll see you.